Dr. Robbie Smith with City of Angels Scholarship Foundation, and these are two of my young, wonderful scholars who have moved on from teenhood into adulthood and who have benefited from our program, and I'd like to have them share some of their experiences with us today. So would you please give us your names and where you graduated in school and where you are today? And we'll start with Ian, please.
Name, Ian McShane Verdun. I graduated from California Institute of the Arts, class of 2007, and actor. I'm very proud actor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I don't know, ever since I just got back from New York, I lived there for 2 years. I had an amazing experience out there. Moved out, booked 2 plays, off Broadway, but it was great. Did a couple of films while I was out there. Also was involved in Rock of Ages Broadway show. And just got back out here. I did a movie with David Fincher, Social Network. It's got Justin Timberlake in it.
Okay.
So it's going to be a big movie probably.
Very good.
Chances are. And right now I'm in development at ABC, which is, it's an honor. It's an absolute amazing experience. One of the best experiences that anybody could have as an actor.
Fabulous.
So I really can't complain. Things have been absolutely amazing. And yeah, actually going to CalArts was you were directly responsible for me going to CalArts because you got me interested in C-Spark, in InterSpark at CISA. And so when I found out about that program, I found out about the college and ended up, that was the only school I actually applied for, and I ended up getting in.
You make me feel like a proud mom.
Yeah, well,
great.
My mom was very upset because I only applied to one college after graduation. Yeah. She was going crazy. What if you don't get in? What if you don't get in? And I was like, well, if I don't get in, it's not meant to be. So it worked out. But
it's so hard.
It was very good. It was really good. I can't complain about anything. It's been awesome.
Good. Good. And you, young man?
My name is Jeremy Hart. I graduated from Cal State Dominguez with a master's in school counseling, and I'm currently a counselor at Giano Middle School in West Covina, California, and I'm also a part-time counselor and professor at Mount San Antonio Community College in Walnut, California. And working with students is awesome at any age group. Middle school, kind of, but the college, I was a high school counselor for 5 years before I got moved.
Interruption, please.
Okay.
Do you remember when you were in middle school?
Do I remember? Oh, yeah. I didn't even like myself in middle school.
It's like the worst time.
Yeah, it is.
Such a bad time.
And I think it's payback. That's why I don't have kids.
Stop it.
I'm so serious.
Okay. Go on, please.
But no, interacting with students and helping them out and believing in them, because sometimes people don't have, parents or siblings that you would think would believe in them, and give them that extra push, which what the church did for me in many different aspects. It's an awesome, rewarding experience. People always ask me what's the best part of my job, and it's when someone says thank you. It sounds simple, but when a parent says thank you, or they really like shake your hand and look you in the eye and a little tear down, that's awesome. It's irreplaceable, and
it is.
Just being there for people. So I'm loving my job, my career, the last 7 years, doing it, working with students at all levels. I actually started out being a Head Start teacher. I used to work with 4-year-olds, and then during graduate school, I substitute taught all different grade levels.
Okay.
And then I started out at the high school. I did that for 5 years, and then I've now been at the middle school and the college. So I've kind of gotten to be able to interact with students and parents to see how, how their relationship grows over time and why it is the way it is once you get to the college. So it's been awesome. I enjoy it every day.
This is so fabulous because we spend so much time teaching, and we don't get an opportunity a lot to find out years ahead what really happens in the lives of those that we have touched in some kind of way, and this is making me feel really good about right now. So I'm so proud of both of you. And you were part of our scholarship foundation, which we will be enhancing with years to come. So I'd like to know really how your being a part of the foundation affected your life and has taken you to the place where you are now. Ian, do you?
Yeah, I can go. It's definitely direct. The church, it's in and of itself, everything has certainly affected my life. Absolutely. It got me through high school, and it really prepared me for college, and just having that mentality and the support that the church gave me at such a young age was irreplaceable, absolutely irreplaceable. Even if you talk to my mother, she says the exact same thing. She was like, the church just, it helped so much. And I was going through practitioner studies at the time as well, which just, it really just gave me the inner strength to pursue what I wanted, and knowing that, you know, acting or any industry, and especially in today's market, it is a challenge. Everything is a challenge, and there are going to be obstacles, and just knowing that you have the support from people outside of yourself, and then having that strength within yourself to go for it and not have any fear about it it's an irreplaceable lesson to learn, especially at a young age. And the foundation to give that kind of support and to give that guidance to children, and it's necessary. It's what's needed.
But as a teacher, I remember you were open and receptive to it. You know, you have to be willing to listen to what it is that's being taught to you to be able to receive it really in the depth that you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember you being a very artistic, talented young man, and I loved your drawings. So what have you done with your drawings? I hear what you're doing with your acting, your drawings. Where are they?
Oh, the drawings.
Yes.
Well, it went on the back burner for a nice long period of time. And then while I was in New York, I ended up living with a guy named Greg Garner, who is a comic book artist, and all of my drawings were all comic book. We're fighting, we're in scantily clad outfits and doing awesome poses. And so we just kind of really bonded over that. Okay. And then there was this comic book that I had been working on since I was in junior high school, and it had evolved as I grew up and matured, the story matured, and we kind of bonded over that. So right now, what's going on with my art is we're developing a comic book together, which is amazing. And I also write a lot. I produced a bunch of plays while I was in college, and I'm using my my writing ability in conjunction with the artistic drawing part, and just creating a full-fledged arc, which is really nice, and it's a great distraction from the acting, which is awesome and very fulfilling, and I love it, and it's passion, but it can be incredibly frustrating at times. So it's very nice to have a separate focus to go into. So it's still there. The art is still there, and it will make a severe surge.
I'm going to keep my eyes on you.
Please do. I need the guidance. I need the push.
Definitely keep my eyes on you. And you, young man, with the children, that's a very incredible experience. You know, I taught 10 years in elementary education before I decided to become a designer. So being around children and loving little children has always been a part of my life. And plus, I was the 7th of 13 children, so I had to babysit a few sisters and brothers there. But tell me one story that's kind of woke you up in the middle of the night of something that had happened in a school situation.
Oh, wow. And it's usually paperwork.
I understand that too.
Yeah. You know, the kid, they kind of stay with you with some of the things that they go through at home. A lot of, because as a counselor, I'm there for support so that they can do the best in the educational setting with the classroom. So I hear a lot of the stories that kind of stay with me, and some of the things at night. One of my dear, she's actually she's 23 now. It's funny because I'm not that much older than her. I met her 11th grade year, and she wanted to go to prom with a young man, and the young man, he was a black kid, and the girl was Latina, and she came to me and she was like, "Oh, Mr. Hart, I'm so scared and this and this." And I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she says, She's like, my dad doesn't want me to go to prom, because the guy I want to go to prom with is black. And I thought, and she said, my friends didn't want me to come tell you. She was like, you're gonna insult Mr. Hart. And she said, that's Mr. Hart, which was cool. That's a big compliment because she doesn't see. Right. I'm just support, and that right there tells me that I'm doing something good and doing something right. Because there's no, you want to be able to run to your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, and know that they're still going to support you and love you and guide you, no matter what you say. Mm-hmm. So that made me feel really good as a counselor. He's like, that's just Mr. Hart. No, he gets it. He'll just talk to me about it, and we did, and that stood out in my mind. I was like, oh wow, that was really cool.
Did she go to the prom?
She did.
All right.
She did. She did. But no, just little stuff like that. Yeah. It's strange, and actually, it's the feel good moments, I like to say, other than paperwork, that keep you up at night, or just it just makes you just like stop. When I was a Head Start teacher, one of the students, her mother emailed me. This happened just recently. Her mother emailed me and said, hey, Jeremy, just want to check in on you. I have both her daughters. Mm-hmm. And she said, Melanie had a project she had to write. She's a 6th grader now. Mm-hmm. She had to write a project and about someone who touched her life, and believed in her in education. And she wrote about you. And she wrote about, how, you used to, taught her ABCs and how to count, and, and you went to her 5th grade little ceremony and all that. She wrote about that, and she was 12, and I met her when she was 4.
Oh,
so
wow.
That was pretty awesome, to kind of leave that little mark on someone, because I've had people like yourself outside of my family that have believed in me and really, given me the strength and to believe in myself, and kind of like what Ian said with the church, that you all really did that a lot here. Just knowing that I had all the tools inside of me to be successful at any obstacle, whether it's an algebra test or an audition or whatever, a dance routine, whatever, and it's all within you. It's inside you, and I definitely felt that while I was here, and I take that with me.
Good.
Everywhere I go.
Very,
never
very,
leaves.
very
Absolutely
good.
not.
Never leaves you.
Yeah.
Good. You make me feel so good. I my emphasis now is definitely going to be on the scholarship foundation and mentoring and assisting young people with their lives. It's a challenge today because of all of the funds that have been taken away from their financial support, and we were talking about that earlier, so I'd really like to get your views on what's happening, and you're out there with it. What's happening and how you feel about it, and how it's going to affect you and those who are coming up now.
Well, it's affecting the whole world. Actually, it's all around. At Mount Sac, at the community college, I see every day. Every day I see frustration where financial aid is being reduced, classes are being cut. Not only at our site, but also at the Cal States and the UCs, and they come to the community college, and is more students, less classes, and people are just so frustrated. And the youth, 10, 20 years from now, they're going to be running the place, and you have to invest in them. You have to invest not only just monetarily, but time-wise, mentoring and talking to them and showing them exactly examples. You have to, showing them that, hey, you get up every day, you work hard. Sometimes you're going to face obstacles, but you keep going. And a lot of times, students, because we don't have the programs like we used to, they run into an obstacle and they're like, I'm just going to give up. And that's not going to get us anywhere as a country. That's a big thing. So I mean, to increase the amount of mentor and scholarship activities with the Scholarship Foundation, that's great. We definitely need it, because every day I see frustration on these kids' faces, and they want it, but unfortunately, with the lack of mentoring programs that we have out right now and funding that we have, there's not a lot of examples that students have. Football coaches, basketball coaches, dance coaches, acting coaches, all those programs are getting cut, and you take something away from your coach or your teacher or whatnot outside of the classroom. When I was a dancer, it taught me tons and tons of things about perseverance and also about rejection. Sorry, you don't fit them all, but I'm good. So you just keep trying, a little bit harder, and it's a big problem, with the cuts that are going on.
You were talking earlier about having to have to pay the sports programs.
Correct.
The students are having to have to pay for bus rides to the games.
Gas money. Yeah.
And things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so surprised.
Absolutely. If you play a sport, let's say you play football, and that's a fall sport, you have to pay. It's $125, per player, so that they can fill the bus up. And then let's say you play tennis in the spring, you got to pay another $125. So it's these little things. Even some summer school classes you have to pay for if they're not remedial. If you want to get ahead, you have to pay for the higher tier remedial class. If you want to take an Algebra 2 class to get ahead, you'd have to pay for that. But if you were, remedial and making up something, you can take that. What that does is it kind of waters down our schools, because if we're not providing for the honors kids and the kids that want to try to get ahead, and we're like, hey, it's a fee, and not everybody has the money for that, then we're penalizing them for being smart.
Well, one of the things that the youth that are graduating today, they're hearing all of these, there's not this and there's not that, and this isn't available and that's not available. They're getting a lot of negative feedback. What is it that you can, at your level, suggest that we give to them to motivate them, to make them have a desire to continue with education, to say that, there is going to be the possibility of a job after you've spent all these years in hard sweat and tears?
Networking. I tell students all the time, and being in acting, and I was in the dance world for a while. I tell students, even if a professor, you don't get the class, you walk up to the professor. Hi, my name is Jeremy Hart. I really look forward to taking your class later. I've heard great things about you. Is it okay if I come back next class just to see if there's a seat available? If not, I'm going to take you next spring. And that professor's going to remember you made that connection, like it is in the dance world. I mean, in the acting world or in the dance world, you have to put yourself out there and put positive energy out there. Normally, it's just like on the Hollywood scene, or if you're in the entertainment industry where you have to network like that. But it's like that with everything now, because there are less and less opportunities. But perseverance and the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and what you say,
Okay.
I think that there should be. You shouldn't focus on the money, and not having money and being without. And I think right now that's something that's really important, that people are pounding that into young people's heads. Well, you don't have money. We need money. There's no money. No money, no money, no money, no money. And I think at a young age, you really shouldn't be thinking about that. You should be thinking about what you want and your dreams, and moving forward and getting what you want, and having the courage to do those things, and not thinking about limitations. Because, at such a young age, the world is so big, everything is possible. You don't want to kill the butterfly before it can fly. You don't want to do that. And I think that's a major problem that's happening right now in this country. And when I speak, I speak generally about the arts, and it's all about what's out there and what you can do, and being inspired by other people that are doing things. Absolutely. And it cannot be about the money. And when you're going through it, and I know me, I can't go into any audition, networking, any of this stuff, and think about the kind of money I'm going to make, or think about any of this kind of stuff. If you're in it about the money, then you're not in it for the right reasons. Yeah. You should be able to just go out there, pursue what you want, and be happy if you were dirt poor. It doesn't matter. Money means nothing. And I think that's why the scholarship is such a great thing, because it alleviates the pressure of thinking about it. So people can, as you're going into college and you're pursuing what you want, you don't have to worry about it. Because when I was going in, my family has no money. We're not very rich at all. It's my mother and I, and that was it. And I got into the school. I really, really, really wanted it. And I had you guys. I had scholarships. I had people I had my mother. I had people that took care of it for me, so I could just do it. And after my first year, I got accepted to go to school in England, and we had no money for that. And it was what 2,000 pounds, it's 4,000 extra dollars. So it's just kind of like, where's that going to come from? I'm on full scholarship, and just being able to go through and just say, I want this, and have faith in it, and know that this is going to happen, which is principles. It's the principles. This is going to happen. I want this for myself, and this is going to happen. I don't care how. It's not my business to know how. It will happen, and so just go for it. And then eventually, one of my friends from college he just happened to be a rich guy, and I remember talking to him, and I wasn't asking him for money. I was just having a conversation with him, like, wow, it's really hard. I got accepted, and I don't have the money. He's like, I'll give it to you. And I was like, it's $4,000. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. I'll write up a check in pounds. Is that fine? And he paid for me to go to school. So things like that happen, you know.
When you're connected, it happens.
When you're
That's
connected,
nice.
you're putting out good energy.
And the energy,
everything.
it always comes
Absolutely.
back. It always comes back.
Always comes back to
Well,
you.
listen, I could talk to you guys forever. It's so good to see you. It's been so long since I've seen you, but we have to bring this to a closure, and I'm so sorry, but thank you so much.
I
know.
We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, but honestly,
Definitely do it
Robbie,
again.
thank you for always believing in
Absolutely.
me. Always.
You're welcome.
Really, you have no idea what it
You're
means to
welcome.
me.
Hey, I love both of you tremendously, and I just know I have so much more to see in the two of you.
Yes.
Just keep the good work up, okay?
You too.
Spread
Thank
the
you.
love.
Absolutely.
Spread the
Absolutely.
love. Okay.